Well, good morning everyone and welcome to the PFA squad's game against the Everton Academy, their under-21 side. Now the 6th game this PFA squad have played in this camp. Of course, I think we're entering now the 7th week of the training camp, and there's been a few more departures recently. Of course, welcome to the game. You're joined with me, Ollie Ordis, up here in commentary, and of course providing you coverage for the PFA squad's fixtures. As mentioned, Everton are the opponent today, and just a few days ago the PFA squad played their Dutch equivalent, so players in the Netherlands that found themselves without a contract. They played them on Wednesday and beat them 4-0. Some brilliant goals to see, and we're on show there that afternoon, and that was an interesting game to watch and see how good the PFA squad really can be. So up against them today are a younger opponent, of course an academy side. They played Watford Academy recently, a couple of weekends ago, and scored quite a few goals against them as well. So we'll go through the team lineup, starting with the PFA squad. In goal, of course, Mackenzie Chapman, Sam Barnes, Anthony Ford, Josh Ruffles, Jordan Davies, Mohamed Sangare, Joe Nuttall, Brandon Barker, Jake Kane, Josh Shaw and Kyle Jameson. And as for the young Toffees, George Pickford in goal, George Finney, Odin Samuel Smith, Luca Davies, Alan Thomas, Jack Patterson, Jacob Beaumont-Clark, Francis Gomez, Martin Sheriff, Callum Bates and Justin Clark. So looking forward to this one. Of course, there's been a good few players finding their feet, getting some clubs. Most recently, Paul Farman, the goalkeeper, has joined Swansea City. The fullback who played the other day on Wednesday, Tene Watson, has joined Barnsley, and Ash Hunter, who started to really play at the beginning of the campaign, he now finds himself in the National League North for Marine FC up and around Liverpool. And that's where we are today, Finch Farm Training Academy, Everton taking on the PFA squad. And there we go. If you're just joining us, welcome along for the PFA side and their fixture against Everton. Of course, if you're new to watching the PFA games, just to give you a little bit of an intro, it's a 10-week training programme for out-of-contract players from the Premier League, EFL and beyond. Of course, the idea, it came about from the players themselves, including those on the players board at the PFA. And they were saying that there needs to be an opportunity for players when they get out of contract, when they're released by a club, what's next? And what can they do next? And of course, this provides a brilliant opportunity of consistent training, just like you'd be in a professional club, strength and conditioning, all whilst chilling out and relaxing and sleeping at the fine Champneys Hotel. So all round, it's a lovely experience. And hopefully, at the end of it, they managed to find themselves with a club, and it's good to see previous players in this camp already getting success, already getting to know what the next year unfolds, and hopefully more of those players in black today will be able to join that list of players signed by a club. So Everton will get us off underway here at the Finch Farm Training Centre. Kick-off just moments away. In the middle is Martin Sheriff, the attacker, 4 goals last season. He'll be looking to try and add to that tally as their season starts next weekend in the Premier League 2. Of course, Everton kick off their season away next week in the National League Cup, which is an initiative for Premier League 2 sides and National League sides to play one another. And if the Premier League 2 side wins, then of course the money, whatever happens, will go to the National League and the clubs there. So some of those players playing for the PFA squad today may find themselves in a National League club next season. And now they're currently on the attack here, Everton, as they're looking alarming. Oh, good save there. Mackenzie Chapman with strong hands just to keep that and not parry it away into danger. Well, an energetic start there from Everton. Of course, they then host Blackburn next weekend as the Premier League 2 kicks off underway for the under-21s. They finished 12th last season, and they'll be looking to try and get higher up. Of course, the Premier League 2 doesn't have any relegation to it. You're only a part of it if you've got a Category 1 academy. And of course, Everton qualify for that. So it's a strong academy this PFA side are coming up against. And they'll certainly have their work cut out, often with Premier League academies as well. They may not be as physical as the senior players, who may be in their late 20s, early 30s, but one thing you can't deny is their technical ability. And that's just something that we will probably see today with this Everton side. He'll just know how to play those intricate passes, when to run. But talk about intricate passes, we didn't see one just then as it's gifted away. And Everton have enjoyed the attacking early on. The leg required from the defender to steer it away. Unfortunately for the PFA squad, they managed to not make it a clear-cut opportunity for Everton. But so far, Everton have started the brighter of the two. Of course, for your PFA squad, if you're just joining us, Mackenzie Chapman in goal, Anthony Ford, Sam Barnes, Josh Ruffles, Jordan Davies, Mohamed Sangare, who's really impressed lately. I remember watching him against Worksop at the beginning of this camp, where they won 4-1, the PFA squad, and he was in the midfield, and he played brilliantly, just so strong. Of course, he played the first half, and that was back when a first 11 would play the first half, and then another 11 would play the second half. But now it's just a squad of 15 today, so we won't see the same rotation, but that enables players to have more than just a half to showcase their talent for any agents and scouts watching on. Josh Ruffles trying to send in a ball. It will be the PFA's first corner as Brandon Barker goes over to take it. Probably the most well-known football player on the pitch for the PFA squad due to his youth time at Manchester City. Of course, he spent a lot of time as well in the Championship and the EFL for clubs like Rotherham, Preston North End, Oxford, and also Morecambe, who unfortunately are facing very tough times at the moment. Brandon Barker once again sending in a ball, not getting the height he wanted as Everton managed to deal with it fairly easily. Here's Jacob Beaumont-Clark. Just see the number 3, Sam Barnes, on that right-hand side. And then you've got Joe Nuttall just trying to organise his players behind him, the number 9 for the PFA squad this afternoon. Barker will go in, and he retrieves it nicely as Ruffles manages to dispossess his man. Unable to do the silky pass there, but he still sends in a ball, and the first shot on goal is wide as it's just sent past the post from Joe Nuttall. It was smart work down that left-hand side from Josh Ruffles. Nuttall just unable to steer it more to the right. Patterson dispossessed. PFA are starting to wake up now, and that strike from very far out goes so far it ends up in the other pitch. So he won't want to look at that one again. Unfortunately, there's a ball on availability, but they're unable to make it count. Here's the number 16, Josh Shaw. Kane showing that he can pass the ball with the outside of his foot. The shot did come from Mohamed Sangare, was complimenting him earlier. Perhaps that shooting ability of his is something we haven't seen yet. Just after that brief flurry of attacking intent shown from Everton, the PFA have just managed to get control on the game now. So looking to try and make something count. Barker, quick feet, still sends in another ball, and it's a glorious one too. Just needed a tap in. Similar to the ball Rolando Aarons played to Diamande on Wednesday, where he just threaded a silky pass across the face about 1 yard out, and all that was required was a Diamande tap-in. But no Diamande there to try and make it the same outcome. Of course, Joe Nuttall will be leading the line today. There's Francis Gomez, number 8 for Everton. Just sitting in between both defenders and looking to advance and send a ball over the top. Sangare was on to Callum Bates, the number 10. Of course, mentioned earlier, the players who have found clubs recently, but previous players such as Carl Jenkinson, Martin Waghorn, Asmir Begovic and Ravel Morrison have all thrived in this camp. And Everton tried to thrive there. Another good chance just across the face. Both sides have been playing in a similar way when they've come to attack. Taking it near the byline and trying to pull it across. Most recently as well, Adam Reach, who's joined Wycombe Wanderers in League One. But in the meantime, Everton look dangerous. It's just that final pass or touch that lets them down, and you can tell the player's going to hoop it forward there. Ball down, Sam Barnes, free kick PFA. Kept it down nicely as well, but the clip from Martin Sheriff is why he came down. You can see Anthony Ford may whip this in with his right. He's got Jake Kane just on the left of the screen there. He may go for his left, but it will be Ford to whip it in. It's a high ball. Plenty of time for Everton to read it. PFA tried to keep it down, but Gomez passes it away, and Everton will try and hit them on the counter now. But not with that pass. And then Sangare gifting it back, but it doesn't matter if PFA managed to regain the ball. Threaded down the line as Sheriff tries to make the run across. Here is Ford. He was just 31 years of age. Last club was Burton Albion, the number 2 this afternoon. Played a key role in Wrexham's 2022-2023 National League title winning season, where they earned promotion to League 2. Came through the academy at Wolverhampton Wanderers, making his Premier League debut in 2011. So around the time their Premier League Came to a short end before they found themselves back in it in 2017 or 2018. Here's Shaw. He's coming forward now. Ruffles on the left. Only sights he had was trying to whip it into the mixer, but it goes over everyone. And there's no luck there for PFA just yet. Gifting it all the way back to Sangare. We'll welcome that. No long range strike this time round though. Here's Shaw again. Ball over the top as Ruffles will chase, but it's passed back by Finney. Shaw tries to get his leg onto it to keep the ball. They get a free kick, the PFA squad, after Jordan Davies was brought down just outside the area as well, so this could be promising, but there's an angle to work with, perhaps more of a delivery free kick rather than a direct one. Unless one of them has got the confidence. Time will tell. Ford teeing it up, but also Davies in close proximity. You think if it's going to be Ford, it'll be struck on goal, but Davies may whip this in with his left. No, he won't. He'll try and go for goal, but just over. Goalkeeper George Pickford always knew it was going over. Good pressure there from Davies to win it back. Just needs to sort out his footing, faces goal and just drags it past the post. Surely now, and there we go. Brandon Barker gets the final touch, but judging by the players' lack of celebrations, the assistant referee raises his flag for an offside. That was really well worked from Jordan Davies. The pressure there managed to put off the Everton defence. And Sangare was the one to win the ball back. They try to advance now. Nodded down by Jameson. Just under a quarter of an hour gone. Everton started the game lively, but it's been all PFA since the 5th minute. The closest they got to goal was just then. Jordan Davies with the strike. He got a deflection though to see it hit the post. And Barker was in an offside position when he tapped it home. Having some joy in the centre of the pitch at the moment, the PFA squad, getting in between the central areas for Everton. Seeing a lot of triangles being set up with nimble passing, which has opened up some chances. Barker unable to beat his man there as Everton will try and come forward and advance on the PFA squad. Last touch came off a black shirt, so it will be a throw for the Toffees. Trying to switch it over towards Ruffles on that far side. He goes sliding in, but doesn't give away the challenge. Sangare sticks in a leg, but it's Jack Kane who manages to win the ball back. Barker just sending a ball towards Joe Nuttall. That's a nice touch. Here's Sangare. He may fancy one from here. They just close him down. This PFA squad are playing with some tempo. Hits the head of Aled Thomas. That would have hurt. Everton just continue to try and break away. They're unable to do so though, as Carl Jamieson is there. Now Shaw. Ford. This could look promising now though for Everton. They've only got 2 players in the box to aim for. Trying to get some more in, but you've got Gomez on the edge of the area. PFA managed to get enough bodies back though, but that's a smart pass in the centre. Just not the touch there to keep it down and try and actually create something. Barker unable to find that ball. And Everton will just recycle possession and try and make something of their own, because we haven't really seen a passage of play yet from Everton since perhaps the 4th or 5th minute. It's been all the PFA in terms of dominating the ball in the opposition's area. So perhaps Everton and Paul Tate, their head coach, just maybe want to have a period where they're just passing the ball and getting a feeling for it again. Of course, looks like they're playing a back 3 at the moment, which can change. Beaumont Clark now. The only option is to pass it around this back line. At the same time, they're going to try and bring it forward through Odin Samuel Smith. Doesn't amount to anything. Throw for the PFA side. Of course, Mohamed Sangare, who's had a positive start for the PFA squad, wasn't involved in the squad on Wednesday against the Dutch equivalent, but he's a 26-year-old central midfielder and he's played around the world. Bellinzona, Livingston in Scotland, Accrington Stanley and Newcastle United. In fact, he was also a Liberian international with 23 appearances and 4 goals. His first cap for Liberia came in March during an African Cup of Nations qualifier against the Democratic Republic of Congo. He's got over 100 senior appearances across international and domestic fixtures, which isn't bad going for a 26-year-old. Of course, he spent last season with the side Bellinzona, who are in the Swiss second tier. So this does show how the PFA squad initiative is there for players from overseas, not just in the Premier League and the EFL. And Sangare is a good example of that. And hopefully he can find a club soon. But now Everton are starting to just enjoy the ball a bit more. is Luca Daniels. Davies again. Brandon Barker just shrugging him off the ball by pulling his shirt. As you can see, wearing the captain's armband for today. One of the more senior players, 28 years old. He even made his England Youth International with 17 appearances for the England youth setups between under 18s and the under 20 levels. 6 goals, and there's another goal! Out of nowhere, number 7, Jordan Davies, makes it 1-0 to the PFA squad. They made the most out of that poor Everton passage of play, and it's so unlucky for the goalkeeper. George Pickford trying to spray it out to find a winger, but instead Jordan Davies slides in and gets the deflection and the goal. Just as I was doing my little speech about Brandon Barker and his goals, the PFA go and score a goal of their own. Fortunate, but that doesn't matter. Good reading from Jordan Davies, putting himself out there, willing to press. When you're willing to press a goalkeeper who's happy to play with his feet, that's what can happen. Here we go. Everton looking to try and get an equaliser. Trying to feed it beyond the lines, but that's a good challenge from Sangare, and he's fouled in the process. Here is Pickford. Obviously, as a goalkeeper, we all know they're isolated. There's only 2 of them on the pitch. And when you do make a mistake, it can feel extremely isolating, let alone 2 mistakes. And the PFA squad were unable to capitalise on that one there. George Pickford perhaps just needs to try and really just not relax, but try and get used to this situation, because as a goalkeeper you're going to come across this, and I suppose this is where it can be really, in a way, beneficial when you receive or you make a mistake like that, because not only do you learn, but you're toughening your brain to deal with those setbacks, because that can happen to anyone of any capability, whether you're Alisson Becker or George Pickford in goal today. So it's a case of improving that mental strength, because it's certainly needed for a goalkeeper. When there's only one of you, it feels like less people are there to relate to and to be able to understand your position. Tricky feet. Pulling it across, but to no one in blue and white. They win it back in a good position. Here's Odin Samuel-Smith. Now the Everton number 7 has a chance to try and score a goal. And it's fired over by Beaumont Clark. Sangare just standing up to him. You also see Kane trying to block the effort. But they weren't required, as it was fired right over. Here's Kane. Sprays one across. Good switch as he finds the wing-back forward. Ruttle's there. Here's Kane. Once again, Ruffles finding some room. As he'll get the reverse pass. Ruffles and Davies just playing a little game between them both on this near side, but they're unable to make anything count with that ball swung in. It'll be another goal kick. More promising play from Everton, as that's a late challenge, but he manages to still run away from Kane. Sheriff trying to cut it across, and Kane's fortunate that he didn't get any contact there with Martin Sheriff, because if he did, it'll probably just been outside the area. But who knows if the referee would have felt it was a penalty. So Samuel Smith will be the one to take this corner. And he's got Justin Clark in support. And they do the short corner. Something from the training ground, but they're unable to make it count. That'll be disappointing for Paul Tate and Peter Kavanagh, the coaching staff for this young Toffee side. Here's Finney. Trying to find a Clark, but instead finding Jameson. Brought down. Player who found him, Odin Samuel Smith. The record amount of appearances out of his fellow young colleagues last season. Played a total of 18 appearances, or made a total of 18 appearances, which was more than any other of his teammates. Here's Ruffles again. Can't quite squeeze an opportunity there. Driving run forward from the number 8, Gomez. It's a poor back pass, and then it's just Finney who perhaps could have chased that, but maybe didn't want to sprint to it. Everton have just lost a bit of their tempo, really. Barker trying to flick it back towards Ruffles, but he can't find it. There's not much energy at the moment with Everton. Of course, that could change, but right now it feels just a little bit lackluster. No one's really wanting to get on the ball. Just been quite slow with their passing, and when someone does pass it to them, it's like they're playing walking football. That's cut out, but they get fortunate as Kane's unable to keep it. That's a nice ball. Samuel Smith! What an effort that was, just over the post. And it was assisted nicely, very nicely, by Clark. And Samuel Smith rocketed that over the frame. Closest they've got to goal so far. And it's down to that man there who got the most amount of assists last year. to take it away. Gomez drawing in 2 players in black and then just darting away from them to open up room, but they're just unable to capitalise on that period. That's well kept. And Ruffles will touch this down. He hasn't got really anyone close by. Now he's got Barker. Shaw just behind him. Oh, Barker. Lovely chipped pass as Ruffles is unable to find a player. Free kick goes Everton's way. Callum Bates. Now Samuel Smith. Beaumont Clark is there. So is Gomez, but it's fired into a PFA squad body. And someone's down here. I think the ball may have hit him not where he wanted to be hit, which isn't nice. Mohamed Sangare, the player down. The player who had the shot as well was Francis Gomez, the number 8. Still down though, Sangare, just being checked here. Just giving a chance for the rest of the players to have a chat with their coaching staff. Perhaps the PFA squad just need to be a little bit more smart with when they get the ball on the wings, actually trying to make a delivery that tests Everton. As for Everton, I think just having a bit more tempo in the game, just trying to get a bit more of a hold. Of course, it's easier said than done, especially when you're just watching it. But it's been a frustrating game for Everton because they've had to be on the back foot a lot, and you've seen that they've perhaps been happy to maybe sit back and hit the PFA squad on the counter, knowing that they've probably got the pace advantage, especially with players like Martin Sheriff and Francis Gomez and Jacob Beaumont Clark. So far, PFA squad have put in a mature performance, as you'd expect. Brandon Barker has showed off his skills here and there, which I'm sure he had developed in his time at Manchester City. Of course, he was a prospect for them around 11 years ago, back in the 2013-14 season when they were coached by Manuel Pellegrini. Trent Alexander-Arnold even said coming up against Brandon Barker was one of the hardest players he's played against at youth level. Just perhaps hasn't gone for him at the senior level, and hopefully he finds himself with the club as soon as possible. Aled Thomas out towards Clark. Ford, nice flick over towards Davies, but they're able to win it back. Ruffles, that's lovely, but Shaw just is unable to keep that. He was just running too quickly there. Wasn't expecting the ball, it was just a little bit behind him. Here is Shaw again. Now Ruffles. He's in an offside position. Josh Ruffles, of course, 31 years of age. He is typically a left back. which is where he's playing today. But you can often see when he is making those runs, the overlapping centre-half of Josh Shaw often likes to join in on the attack. And Everton's attack is halted there due to an offside as well. That's for Josh Ruffles, previous club, Huddersfield Town. Before that, he's been with Oxford and Coventry. So he's got good pedigree in the senior world. He even made 300 appearances for Oxford. And was a midfielder before becoming a left back. After such a successful season for Oxford in the 2018-19 campaign, he won Player of the Year. Followed that by joining Huddersfield, where he made over 50 appearances. And there's 350 senior appearances across League One and the Championship. So another player that'll be ready and eager to get back to the second or third tier of English football. You can see the squad can be fairly fluid, this PFA side, as Brandon Barker likes to free roam but also sit deep and come in to help his centre-halves to try and play out from the back. Here he is again. Shaw just moves over towards this left-hand side, and because of the versatility of Ruffles, he's able to then come in and help out on the midfield job. Throw in for the PFA side as Jacob Beaumont-Clark just brought him down. Jordan Davies was the player who fell over in the box. Now Shaw, Ruffles to his left. Back to Jameson. Kane dealing with it well. Sangare. Ford will clip it nicely over towards Davies, will try and turn provider. A lot of the balls into the box have just lacked a lot of quality so far. A lot of them haven't even been able to beat the first Everton man. So to just improve that, they could be in a much better advantage right now, as they're getting the opportunities down the flanks. But right now, Everton have a slight numerical advantage as Gomez feeds it through to Beaumont-Clark, but the athleticism of Carl Jameson is enough to beat their number 7, Beaumont-Clark, to the ball. That's nicely done from Kane, up against Finney. Switch from Jameson. Well, that was going to be one hell of a ball if he was to find Ford with that high range pass. But instead he finds the hedge on the side. So 5 minutes left of the first half. Jordan Davies licking his lips once he saw George Pickford had the ball at his feet as he tried clearing it away, or maybe making the pass. He was unable to do so, as when the ball left his foot, within a millisecond it had rebounded off Jordan Davies into the back of the net. Everton currently looking promising. Can they make something happen? Not with that sort of delivery. He has a second chance though, but he is up against Sam Barnes. Ford passing it forward, but very readable. Just allowing Jack Patterson to intercept and give the ball back to his side. Here's Beaumont-Clark, who's come closest to goal out of all of the Everton players so far. Just trying to feed it sleekly through. Now Barker. Davies will find Ruffles once again. That's a sloppy touch, and now Beaumont Clark will try and come forward. Here's Gomez. Luca Davies. Samuel Smith, now Patterson again. Everton just having a spell on the ball now, where they're passing it around in the opposition's half. But the commentator's curse strikes again as they gift it away. But due to that clearance, Everton get it back in a much greater position. Can they try and get an equaliser as we're 3 minutes away from the break? Important legs stuck out there, as you can see the tricky feet from Martin Sheriff, just trying to weave his way through. See the idea, Beaumont Clark. The ball manages to bounce nicely towards Beaumont Clark. For a minute you felt it was just going to be going towards Mackenzie Chapman. Now Ruffles. Davies popping up on this left. Sangare will try to pick out a pass, but it's not one of his best. Straight to George Pickford. Here comes Gomez, who's seen a lot of the ball today, covered a lot of the ground too. Francis Gomez in that central midfield role, just picking out passes to the right, to the left, helping out his defenders and even joining in on the attack. So his heat map will be very hot, whatever the word is to describe a busy heat map. It'll certainly be that for the number 8 Francis Gomez. Some of the PFA players though look like they're pretty knackered right now, just having to rest their hands on their knees. Looking forward to the 15-minute break then, to just try and refresh. Of course, there's only 15 players available for the PFA squad this afternoon. Can they try and get a 2-goal advantage before the break? Not with that pass from Nuttall. Here's Ford. Try to put a ball in. No, instead he'll favour the chance out right wide. The 1-2 and the ball played in from short. Unable to find a head of someone in black. That will be the half-time whistle blown. Of course, a goal down are Everton. The PFA squad scoring through a mistake. Jordan Davies anticipating Pickford's ball played forward, sliding in to then get a deflection. Perhaps not the most glamorous goal you'll see, but the PFA squad won't care as they go into the break 1 goal up. We'll be back in just under 15 minutes' time.
Take the battery out and that. Don't forget the goal as well.
Welcome back, everyone, for the start of the second half. That felt like a quick half-time break, but we're ready, we're back, and there has been a substitution made by the PFA side. Harley Hamilton has replaced Mohamed Sangare. Of course, Harley Hamilton is a 21-year-old midfielder, so it's a like-for-like change. Previous clubs have been Birmingham City. He played for their under-18s and their under-21s. He featured in the Professional Development League and the Premier League Cup matches for Birmingham's academy side. As mentioned earlier, Birmingham have recently gone into the Premier League 2, so that's expanded from, I believe, around 24 teams to around 27, due to the fact that there are 3 more sides now with a Category 1 academy. So he was always a part of the Professional Development League, which is sort of the division below for Category 2 academies. And then, of course, was released after being in the under-21s, having made 50 competitive appearances for the academy sides at Birmingham. So he'll want to try and kickstart a senior career somewhere. Unfortunately, it didn't fall for him at Birmingham, but hopefully it can fall for him somewhere else. And what a chance he's got here in this second half to try and show his worth. Looks like no substitutions, or no, one substitution has been made for Everton. As you can see, the number 17 coming on, which I'll announce in just a second. But Beaumont Clark, in the meantime, firing another one over. He knows how to get power behind the strike, but just not the accuracy so far. Had a good chance in the first half where he rocketed the ball over the woodwork, which he did similar there, but this time it was at least a couple of yards over. No need for Mackenzie Chapman to be required. And Kingsford Boakye has come on for Everton. He's a forward, so they're trying to add some more attacking options. George Morgan has also come on too.
What, down there?
George Morgan, another forward.
When I looked before, it didn't look like it was on.
It's just on the floor. It's still recording, but I don't know.
I haven't been told who's come off yet, but when I find out, I'll let you know. But in the meantime, George Finney has a chance to put in a ball. He does. It meets the head of Jameson, and then it's cleared away a second time. Samuel Smith. Now Gomez. Crunching challenge left on Jack Patterson there. He goes down holding his leg. Challenge in from the goal scorer, Jordan Davies. Has to be careful. And you can see the run of Nuttall. Everton do well to swarm players back and in on Joe Nuttall. That's a brilliant ball, as it looks like George Pickford has come off as well. Unfortunate for him to have made a couple of mistakes and come off, but I suppose it allows another opportunity for another goalkeeper to show his worth. Fraser Barnsley is who has come on, and then blimey, what a strike. Francis Gomez, who's been one of the best players on the pitch this game so far, almost scoring a wonder strike. The way he just calmly collects it and then really pelts it. It was dipping, but it didn't dip enough to just find the back of the net. What a goal that would have been. Headed down by Samuel Smith. Here's Patterson. Trying the ball in behind. Then a goalkeeper caught in a bit of an awkward situation between him and Josh Shaw. Unfortunately, he was able to just cradle it. Davies, sending it forward, trying to get it in behind Jameson. He's forced over towards this left-hand side to try and do some defending against George Morgan, the substitute. Comes off Ruffles, so will be another Everton throw. Here's the goalkeeper, Fraser Barnsley. Finding a nice ball as it goes through the entire midfield. Even though it didn't have the greatest power on it, managed to see a gap through that PFA side. Samuel Smith. Now whipped in. That's a lovely touch. Oh, what a save. Chapman forced to deny the substitute, Kingsford Boakye, a goal. But that was clever work between Samuel Smith and the number 6, Jack Patterson, as he managed to make that overlapping run. And then the touch from Boakye was sensational. Had such control on it, which allowed him to tee up the effort. Just couldn't quite get it into the corner that he would have wanted. Warning signs shown from Everton early on in this second half. Here they come again. It's been all Everton at the start of this period. Here's Boakye again, up against Ford. Now Gomez scuffing it into the grasp of Chapman. But they started the first half very well, and they've done the same with the second. Of course, the PFA squad grew into that first half, and perhaps the same will happen here, but Everton might want to try and make it count whilst they're on top. So a corner. Boakye goes over to try and provide an option for Beaumont Clark. They've liked their short corners so far in this fixture, the young Toffees. There's a good run from Bates. Cleared away, anywhere will do, but they try to whip it back into the mixer. This time Jameson's able to clear it away with a bit more conviction. Barker will chase. That'll be nodded down from Luca Davies. Telly was in an offside position. The ball just trickles slowly out of play. George Morgan, the player in the offside position. It's a poor return pass there from Kane. Just needless. Just on a bit of a misunderstanding between the two players there as well. And Everton are enjoying these selection of throw-ins they're getting on that far side. Is Brad Moonan, who's also come on. A handful of changes at half-time. George Morgan's up there, but Beaumont Clark favours to his right, as Patterson will spread it out to that far side. Now Gomez. You've got players in every position so far. Everton just able to win it back. Here's Bates. PFA's side so far being stubborn and resolute in their defending, not really allowing Everton a chance to open them up. Moonen will be led all the way back to Fraser Barnsley. It's been all Everton in the opening 10 minutes of this second period. But it may have been all Everton, but now they've got another opportunity, and it's a good save. First time Barnsley's been tested in this second half. And Jordan Davies is denied of a brace from a smart save from the substitute goalkeeper. Had to have strong hands there and did well to save it and see the ball go out for a corner. Just as I was saying, Everton have dominated the first period of this game. PFA go and get a clear-cut opportunity of their own out of nowhere. Can they make it 2-0? It looks like they can, but they can't. The ball hitting the wrong side of the post after Barnes tried clipping it into the side of the target. That's unfortunate. And just in a matter of moments, the PFA side just show you what they can do. Of course, they're happy perhaps to also let Everton enjoy the ball and maybe hit them on the counter. But I'm sure we'll see spells of the PFA squad enjoying the ball as well. But this is a brilliant opportunity and another great save. Brilliant goalkeeping on show here. And just as you felt Everton were going to get an equaliser, Mackenzie Chapman came up with the goods to deny the substitute George Morgan an early goal since coming on. That's exciting. End-to-end stuff. Both sides being cut open. Everton feel they deserve a goal. They should have a goal. But what can you do when you've got a goalkeeper making those sorts of saves? Here come the PFA. Barker. All the way back from Kane. He's just dropping deep. Of course, the central midfielder, the number 11 right there, Jake Kane. Previous clubs, he played at Swindon Town, Newport on loan, and Liverpool. And he has over 80 appearances in League Two and EFL trophy competitions. Of course, he came through Liverpool's academy, featuring in their under-18 and under-23 sides, and made his senior debut in the FA Cup in 2020. So when he was about 18 years of age, he represented Liverpool in the UEFA Youth League and was part of their FA Youth Cup winning squad. So he's had a good time as a youngster. Now he'll want to kick on and try and make good times in the senior side. This is good. This is very good, and there it is. Calmly rolled in by the substitute Harley Hamilton as he pulls up his sock in celebration. Oh, coming down this right-hand side, the ball over the top, up towards Joe Nuttall. And Hamilton was making the run. Look at that intricate play. Layoff from Barker. And then the smart, calm finish from Hamilton to double his side's lead. So half an hour to go in the PFA squad. After being fairly dominated at the beginning of this second half, they've now got a real grip on this game. And just as they managed to get through on goal, Jake Kane was fouled. But it's more build-up work. This time Gomez hasn't really put a foot wrong in this game, but there is a bit of a size difference there between the number 8 Francis Gomez and Jake Kane. And Kane was just able to use his power and physicality to get it beyond the small frame of Gomez, but for the majority of time that doesn't really impact him, as he's such a smart player with such a brilliant work ethic. But he's getting booked right now. A yellow card for a denial of a semi-opportunity.
Just zoom out a little, Helmer. You don't need to go too close. That's it.
It's lined up by Jake Kane and Joe Nuttall. But Nuttall will be the one to strike, and it's another save, but they can't keep that one out. The rebound falling to Josh Ruffles, and it's 3-0. 2 goals in a matter of 2 minutes for the PFA squad. Smiles all round for the team in all black. The strike came in low. The goalkeeper did well to save it, but he just parried it right into the direction of Josh Ruffles. And that now pretty much confirms it to be a PFA squad win. That's a case of Everton just keeping their heads, keeping their cool, and just trying to see what they can do now. Here's Gomez. Has to be careful after he's just been booked, which of course led to that free kick, which PFA made the most of. So a couple of substitutions. George Finney has come off. There's been a substitution, unsure who right now. But by process of elimination, you'd think it's either going to be the number 14, Josh Van Shaw, or Joel Catesby. As the bench of 6 has so far had 4 used. So now it's 5 substitutions made by Paul Tate for Everton. Well, they're going to try and want to beat the scoreline on Wednesday now. PFA squad. Of course, still try and keep that clean sheet as well. That'll be most important for the defenders. Here's Boakye. Now Bates. Gomez again. Oh, Barker with the trickery. Just misreading that between Anthony Ford and Sam Barnes. You felt that was a bit of an easy pass to make, and it was. Not really too sure who was at fault there. You can see Anthony Ford was frustrated. Perhaps he was expecting it to feed, but even so, didn't feel like it was too far away. 25 minutes to go. Goals from Jordan Davies, Harley Hamilton and Josh Ruffles are what sees this scoreline currently at 3-0. Brandon Barker going in on Samuel Smith. Now Patterson is just looking around, wanting to provide an option, but no one's there. PFA win it back in a good position. Here's the second goal scorer, Hamilton. Back to Shaw. Barnes. There's also been a goalkeeper change for the PFA squad. Looks like Mackenzie Chapman's come off. Of course, made a great save early on in this second half to keep it 1-0. Now Patterson to Moonen. Look at the tenacity from Barker, wanting to put pressure on the opposition. They deal with it though. The looping ball over the top ends up in the gloves of the new substituted goalkeeper. Given away an opportunity now, and they're forced out to this right-hand side as Kane was able to just push them over to the wing, and there he is again, just passing it in field and then leathered forward. Doesn't find too much distance on it though. Almost ended up with Barker. He had a couple of attempts to keep it down, but Everton were able to win it back, but not for long. Here's Kane. Oh, the ball just doesn't have the quality to find Ford. Scuffed effort, welcomed by Barnsley. Ford would have had plenty of green space to run into. Here's Boakye. Back to Samuel Smith. Ruffles. Now looking up. Here's Josh Shaw. That final ball there letting them down. You could see the idea where someone was going to try and run down the flank, but they just can't really get the ball over to them. There's Davies. PFA just happy passing it around here. You can see Joe Nuttall trying to come in deep to help out and perhaps provide an option and then bring it forward, which has worked out well here. Davies sending it over towards Barker. He beats his man Finney, just needs to pull it across. He does so, it's collected by Kane. Oh, just wide. What a move that was from the PFA squad. All coming from when Nuttall dropped deep to help out his defence. Barker was then on his bike, tried the back heel Nuttall, and then it fell to Kane on the edge of the area. A potential deflection from Moonen, but it will be a goal kick. Another chance. Just goes begging. They try to win it back through Ruffles, who's playing more central right now. Shaw. Ruffles. That's a lovely flick to Barker. They can just turn it on the PFA squad, but not with that pass. Another goal kick. Just a bit of break in play. I believe there may be some changes. Maybe we're just having a water break for Joe Nuttall. Done a lot of running in this second half and perhaps just needs a little break. Unlucky not to find the back of the net yet. But he's been a threat at times. Taken quickly. They dispossess Everton once again. Fortunately for Everton, they're able to keep the ball then. Barker will just twist and turn. Falls back to Kane. Now Ford. Heavy touch from Ruffles, just making it trickier for him, but he lays it off. Ford with the hit. And it's hit over. Just centimetres above the woodwork. But Ruffles did well, as you felt he may have lost it there. He had about two blue shirts onto him. And then Ford smashed his laces through that ball. And it came off an Everton player. So another chance to try and find the back of the net and really put this game to bed. Ford looping low and just wide from Nuttall. Not really just wide, well wide from Nuttall. It was a good corner, plenty of height, but it dipped at the right time, into the right area. I believe Nuttall was up there with Davies. A little confusion between the pair. That's a brilliant ball played forward. What a goal this could be. Oh, chipped beyond the goalkeeper. And he's looked promising since he's come on. Certainly caused the PFA squad some issues. Kingsford Boakye getting on the end of that brilliantly distributed ball from the other end of the pitch and showing the confidence and composure to dink that over into the back of the net. 3-1. Frustrated the PFA that they weren't able to keep the clean sheet. But that's the end of the day for Callum Bates. Who knows? 15 minutes left to play, plus a few minutes of added on time. Could be a comeback on the cards. Boakye just trying to show his presence to Ford. finish wasn't just brilliant. The ball as well, as it just looped over all of the players and found Boakye in an onside position. He did well to then get him behind, goalkeeper off his line, and to just side foot it above him really takes some skill. And Samuel Smith. Dispossessed quickly was Martin Sheriff. But Boakye, he's really feeling himself now. Oh, just past the post again. Martin Sheriff with the low strike. But Boakye looking for an assist now. And Sheriff just waited a second or two before he pulled the trigger. But it was a good effort. Very good effort. You felt when it left his boot, it was just going to creep in. So just under 14 minutes to go. And Everton have had their best opportunities of the game in the last couple of minutes. That's nicely headed down from Nuttall, though. As PFA squad look to restore that 3-goal advantage they had. This is nice. Ruffles, unable to find the quality of pass, but here's Hamilton. Quickly forced out to Ford. He'll send one in. The head there, and that's a brilliant header. Their 3-goal advantage is back. And he's got a brace. Jordan Davies getting on the end of that brilliantly whipped delivery. And heading it into the top corner. And unfortunately for Everton, just as they were looking like they could try and get something back, the PFA squad and Jordan Davies managed to hit them where it hurts. Of course, Jordan Davies, 26-year-old attacking midfielder. He's just been a free roamer, hasn't he, today? Been excellent. Of course, previous clubs have seen him at Grimsby, Wrexham, Brighton and Hove Albion as well, as an under-23 player. He has over 150 appearances across the National League and EFL. And like Ford, he was a key figure in Wrexham's promotion campaign, but this time from League 2 to League 1. Scored 16 league goals in the 2020-21 season. He was developed through Wrexham's academy before moving to Brighton, but ended up returning to Wrexham in 2020, so when he was about 21 years of age. And of course, he did find himself on the end of that delivery from Anthony Ford, who also played for Wrexham, so perhaps that's from their playing days together. Ruffles chasing over on that far side. So there's been a goal fest in this second half, just one in the first, and then since then we've seen 4 in this half. Certainly no lack of action. Mohamed Sangare has come back on the pitch. As Barnsley tries to distribute another brilliant ball, just like when he found the assist for Everton's only goal so far. Here's Sheriff, trying to find the run of George Morgan, but just in front of him. Well, in the end, Josh Shaw leaving it to the goalkeeper to take. Who wallops it down the left side. Of course, it is windy conditions right here at the Finch Farm training ground. Haven't really seen that impact play too much, but perhaps it did a bit with that free kick. Here's Samuel Smith. Boakie tried to make that run down the left, dragging a player. Samuel Smith brought down, but the referee just sees that as a throw for the PFA squad. Whipped him behind. Another good ball from Ford, but this time galloping across Nuttall was Brad Moonan, who cleared it away. Boakie gets there first before Ford, but he'll have time to send in a ball once again, but it just is mishit by Nuttall. Ruffles will then play it over to his colleague Shaw. Now Kane. They're just slowing down for the PFA squad as we reach the final 8 minutes. Nuttall holding it up. Davies with the first time pass, but it doesn't find a player in black. Instead, Barnsley will just feed it over to one of his colleagues. But that's sloppy defending, but manages to do really well. He had the PFA player running rings around him, but still managed to keep his balance on that far side. Here's Ford. Slight bit of fortune as both Everton players were on the ground. Whips in another ball, but beyond Nuttall. And then sent over to George Finney. Gomez with the interception, taking it away from Hamilton, who looked frustrated at the outcome. Here come Everton, once again through their goal scorer, Boakie. He fancied a chance at goal. Instead he'll lay it off, but that's a smart pass. Quite a lot of power behind it though there from Joel Catesby. Still with Boakie. Morgan will pass it back. Everton trying to make something work on that right-hand side, but it doesn't. Their opponents will try and come forward. Perhaps right now they're happy to just see the game out now. Of course, unfortunately for them, they've lost the ability to say they've got a clean sheet. But they'll try and keep this one goal conceded intact. There's a leg stuck out there to deny the ball heading towards the goal. Barker. Trying to send it long. Up towards Nuttall, but Finney was there. That's well worked from Kane, but Ford just didn't want to sprint right to it. Unsure whether he could have got that or not. It felt like if he did sprint to it, there could have been another opportunity, but then again, when you're 4-1 up, do you really want to be sprinting and potentially risking injury this late on? Probably not. Hamilton. Back to Jameson. Sangare in the defence now. Coming away with it. Barker. Nimble work. All the way back to the goalkeeper, who hammers it forward. Could see the pressure there from Nuttall. And Martin Sheriff as well. Collected by Gomez. It's a poor pass. And that's welcomed by Hamilton as they'll come forward once more. 3 minutes to go. Here's Ford, whose deliveries have always been quite challenging, especially in the second half. Here he is again. He clips it over towards the edge of the area, trying to find Ruffles, but Patterson has to just stretch out his arms to keep him away. And so he does. And Ruffles was offside anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. But Patterson just wanted to make sure. So just under 2.5 minutes to go. It's been a good performance from the PFA squad and that of Everton as well, especially in the first half. It felt like they had more control at times, but PFA squad overall have certainly dominated, and the scoreline shows that. They've had some good opportunities though, Everton, especially early on in this second period, where Mackenzie Chapman, the goalkeeper, was forced to make a save against Boakye, who ended up scoring, of course, when the PFA were 3-0 up. Of course, Jacob Davies as well. He's now hit 5 goals in the PFA squad. That's 5 goals in 3 games. What a tournament, or what a camp he's having, Jordan Davies. Here they come again once more. A corner is the outcome. Anthony Ford as well. The delivery to set up their fourth was sensational. And the delivery here is not bad either. But there's been a foul in the box. And it'll be another free kick for the PFA. As for Everton, I think the standout probably has been number 8, Francis Gomez. He's sort of been that workhorse, that engine in midfield. But then since coming on, Kingsford Boakye has certainly caused issues at times and has linked up nicely with the other substitutes like George Morgan and Martin Sheriff, who started the game as the number 9. But we're just seconds away now from the referee's whistle. After a good display from the PFA squad, Everton came out with high energy, and then the PFA squad took it away from them really in that first period. But in this second half, Everton have been stronger than they were in the first, but the clinical nature of this PFA squad side is what's seen them get to this scoreline of domination. So Ford and Barker, the two by the corner flag, but it looks like Ford will go alone with this one. unless he fancies playing corner flag tactics, but I don't think that's necessary now. And neither does he, as it's hung in and once again finds that area towards the far post, and it's hammered over, and that is the end of the action. Everton 1, the PFA squad 4. Started off with an unfortunate error from the goalkeeper, which was pounced on by Jordan Davis, who ended up getting a brace in the end, scoring the first, scoring the fourth. In between that, you had substitute Harley Hamilton getting on the score sheet, as did the number 4, Josh Ruffles. But of course, Everton did get a goal back, especially by their brilliant player, Kingsford Boakye, who's certainly got a bright future ahead of him. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. It's been Everton 1, the PFA squad 4.
Yeah.